Check.
No, I'm getting hooked.
There you go.
Hello.
It's not
Yeah,
cool.
that's way better.
Hey, at least it was actually work today.
Musical chairs.
Yeah, they're...
It's too bad Kirby and Laura couldn't make it.
Yeah. Whatever, those guys suck.
Man.
Nice.
All right.
Question over there. Hi.
What is your favorite theme park?
Favorite theme park?
Kirby's
Disney
bedroom.
I don't know. That kind of sucked when I was there.
It's because he wasn't tall enough to ride most of the rides.
That is true. Splash Mountain was disgusting. Okay. Less German
So
than
you're
I
laughing
thought.
at you guys.
Your favorite theme park?
Probably Epcot. Just because I like to walk around and drink. Just woo, drink, and then go back and go woo, drink. It's pretty great.
Nice.
I like Playland for the carny aspect.
Yeah?
Playland's a park in Vancouver that's only open part of the year for, yeah, that's a good time.
Yeah, it's kind of...
You could die there, I'm pretty sure.
Little known fact, I had a very large fear of roller coasters for most of my life.
Cool. Luckily, they don't randomly appear.
Roller coaster. So I decided to conquer that fear in 2007 when I was in Paris, and I went to Disneyland Paris. And I got really drunk and went on Thunder Mountain. The thing runs backwards the whole way. And I conquered my fear of roller coasters.
And alcohol poisoning.
And alcohol poisoning. Never.
All right, next.
Over there.
And we're done. Okay, yes.
If you were talking to the younger generation that's coming up now, how would they get started?
They wouldn't. Don't bother. It's too. Just leave us the stuff.
What would be the best path to get on the right?
Enlightenment? Good. I'm going to talk to you about a carpenter. He had long hair. He was a bit of a radical. Bob Vila in his younger days had quite a mullet. Well, you know, we get this a lot. And I think, you know, the stock answer is the best answer, which is obviously, you know, focus on the acting part of it, you know, and train. Do community theater, do theater, you know, start out in that way if you feel inclined to do sort of, you know, an organized program like something in a college or something at an art school, then, you know, go do that, or, you know, scene study or whatnot. But I think you need to approach all of it. You know, it's all got the same root, you know, which is, you know, the most truthful acting and the best stuff that you can do. And voice is an element of that. You know, I don't know many people who got into it and just said, no, I'm just doing voice, that's it, that's all I want to do. I'm sure there are people.
I'm sitting next to you.
But I think that the main issue here is that the acting is the root of it all, right? And I don't think that you necessarily want to limit yourself. So even if voice stuff is the main end goal, you need to know how to act as well. And that means, I think, that you need to be able to do it in all those venues. Because it's not something that you go and you just grab a diploma and you're like, great, now I'm an actor. That's excellent, you know, but you still need to be able to translate it into a workable, usable sort of ability. So that would be the beginning of it. And then obviously in terms of doing this as a profession, you kind of need to go where the work is, right? So that's Vancouver, that's LA, that's Dallas, that's, you know, I guess New York still is doing stuff.
Yeah.
Toronto has some stuff, you know. I mean, and there are other pockets nowadays that are getting busier and more sort of exciting. But that would be for me, the first couple of steps.
To add to that, because everything you said is 100% true, there's a great website that D. Bradley Baker made to help with this question called iwanttobeavoiceactor.com. And while I don't necessarily agree with absolutely everything he says on that site, there's so much information about getting work and references and networking and training and demos and agents and sort of like a nice big giant overview of voice acting, you know. So it's like voice acting 101 is iwanttobeavoiceactor.com, and it's pretty great. So that's a good place to sort of get an idea as well, to see if it's something
I'm
that
going
might
there
be to your
right now
taste.
to learn.
It's awesome. But yeah, I mean, really just it's voice acting is acting. So, yeah.
Yes, sir.
What's your favorite hockey team?
Well, the Canucks, obviously. And if I can't cheer for the Canucks, then
Tampa Bay Lightning. Come on.
let's not get crazy, okay?
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, Calgary, Edmonton right up there. If they're not in it, then any one of the original 6.
Yeah.
And if they're not in it, I'm watching baseball. No, the Leafs are good. They're an original 6.
The Leafs have the best fans.
They have the best fans, the most devoted fans. Them and the Habs.
Yeah.
They're losing their mind now that they've traded the PK. They're losing their mind.
Who's PK?
What?
I don't know. Do you guys know who PK is?
PK Subban. He just got traded to Nashville. Okay, never mind. Forget it. Whatevs.
I'm just gonna smile and nod.
Right?
Yeah, hockey.
Hockey
Cool.
Hockey's
The
fun.
greatest
They
sport
have a
ever.
puck and there's sticks
Yep.
and skates. I watched the Mighty
And
Ducks.
violence.
Can they be my
Violence.
favorite team?
I was in a hockey playing monkey movie.
Yes, you were. DP, yeah.
Most valuable primate.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's fantastic.
Great.
Yeah.
It's a great sport, and it's a great way to get to know Canadians. Because we're not the mild-mannered. I mean, we are on the surface to lure you in. But just the level of violence, but it's how the violence occurs in hockey that is so Canadian, which is most of the time people chirping at each other till they, if you watch them, when they drop their gloves and go, there's a lot of nodding before, going, you want to go? Let's go, let's go, let's go, and then they go. There's not a lot of, it's not like baseball where people storm the mound and just sort of slap each other. Basketball fights are the funniest fights in the world. Just these gigantic Spider-Man, like, by the time it's finally traveled to them, just the Earth's gravity has slowed it down, these poor guys. So yeah, I mean, it's very sort of, microcosm. It's very much a microcosm of Canadian culture. Because I was laughing about this the other day. Because Canadian rednecks are we have some serious rednecks and they're awesome. But they drop the F word every second word. So when my American friends have seen any videos of like Canadian rednecks, like out for a rip and all that kind of stuff, they're just like, really unnerved because it's really aggressive speech in a completely non-aggressive meant way, you know what I mean? Like, so it's just like every second word is fucking right on it. Fucking right. They don't mean anything by it, but it's just so like aggressive sounding. Yeah, so that's it. Canadians are super, super nice to you until they're punching you. That's kind of how right? I've never, in all my years of going to like clubs and bars when I was a younger guy, I never went to one where I didn't see a fight.
Yeah.
Ever.
And it was usually me getting punched.
I've seen so many broken noses and that deer on ice kind of stand up. What the hell just happened? It's hilarious. Anyways, I digress. The Canucks.
Where do you live? LA. Nice.
It's on fire right now.
LA's on fire.
Yeah. It's on fire! Well, the neighborhood north of LA is on fire. But where I live, it looks like the sky is on fire right now. I can't wait to go back. Yeah, it's really messed up. I think Kyle Bear posted that it looks like Fury Road.
Oh, man.
Burbank right now, and I'm like, all right, cool. This is going to be great.
We had that last year. Last year it was, the fires in the interior were so heavy that the smoke was down in Vancouver. Like it was, and then on the weather app it said like 25 degrees Celsius, 25 degrees and smoke. It doesn't say cloudy smoke.
Just smoke.
Straight to it, eh? Smoke. Okay, good luck, right? Yes, and then yes.
Yeah, what do you think about South Park when they make fun of Canadians?
Well, I think it's funny because we're not, kind of that sensitive about ourselves. But I think it's funny. It's hilarious. Blame Canada was hilarious. We get it. We get it. It's a joke. Yeah, there's lots of references to comedy to Canada and U.S. comedies because there's a ton of Canadian writers on a lot of these shows too, right? Like The Simpsons have quite a few Canadian writers on it. That's why they kept making Canada references. Yeah, but I think it's funny. It's hilarious. Kirby, did you get your nose out of joint?
No.
No.
It's like, yeah, like, did Matt Damon say anything about,
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
It's funny.
Better to be
It's
made fun of
hilarious.
than not thought about at all.
That's our bullying tip.
Yeah.
Well, at least they're thinking of you. Yeah. Yes?
Any character on any Pixar movie.
Any Pixar movie?
The newest one, and I would play the main character.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite Pixar movie ever, and in my opinion, the best animated movie ever, is The Incredibles. Because just the design on it is unbelievable. It's like it's really great artists. Because I think a lot of North American artists are really undervalued, like because people keep pointing to the Miyazakis and everything, and they're amazing. But it's the human touches that kind of people don't notice, but it makes the movie like incredible. And in The Incredibles, there's this is a funny reference, but there's that little moment where Mr. Incredible is describing to Edna what he wants for his, and he's talking about the cape, and and he sits forward in his chair, and it's the smallest movement ever, but it's such a human movement, and you're like, oh, it's just so. But to me, that's like what kind of makes those kind of movies amazing, and so yeah, I love The Incredibles is phenomenal. So I mean, there's not anybody in it that I think I would have been amazing at, but but I'm sure. But they're finally making a sequel, so that would be great. That would be nice to do that one. Hi.
I have a question.
Excellent.
Could have told me this is I'm stuck in this pose. I have nothing to ask, but something's gone wrong. Call
I'm sorry,
911.
I gave blood earlier. So.
Call the doctor.
With the different varying aspects of your careers, I've noticed like comedians, for instance, start to avoid certain places because if they tell a certain joke, then people get offended and whatnot.
Right.
As professional actors, I mean, how do you guys generally deal with this information? Do you purposely avoid it, or how do you deal with that sort of thing?
Like avoiding subject matter?
I suppose like if like say you get invited to a college to do a
Right.
guest speaking,
Right.
and you know that people have gotten angry and offended over just jokes in the
Right.
past, would you avoid it, or what? How do you guys usually?
I'm not a
handle that stuff?
comedian, so it doesn't bother me. Are they
Is it
offended?
just- is it
Are they
just
offended by
comedians?
acting workshops? Because then there would be a problem, I guess. But no.
I don't know. I mean, I think it kind of goes back to, I don't know. I mean, like, is any subject matter sort of sacred
In comedy?
in comedy? I mean, I'll say this. I don't think that anything is off limits, but there's a really strong caveat to it, which is it better be really, really freaking funny. I don't know, but I mean it for this. It cannot just be for the sake of lowest common denominator and let's pick on this person and like the best comedians that talk about subject matter that really treads that line are like people like Louis C.K. Are people who are actually shining a light in the right direction. Right. So if you're isolating an individual or a group of individuals and saying, ha ha ha, isn't it funny the way they X, Y, Z, that's bullshit.
Right.
And that's not okay, and it's not funny, and it's lazy, and it's crap writing, and it's that kind of stuff. So when comedians go, whatever, like everybody gets offended about something, they're probably not good comedians. In my concerted opinion, they're probably a bit crap, and they're probably preying on the easy joke.
Right.
So yeah, there's certainly stuff that I think we should avoid and not talk about a joke about, right? Unless you're willing to have like not a serious, but unless you're willing to be able to put a nice biting edge on it that sort of turns the light in an interesting way that maybe people haven't considered before.
Right.
But but there is obviously there's a cut off at some point. Like if I say a joke about clowns, people will go, "I'm really offended because I hate clowns." I'm like, I can't control that, But it depends. I mean, but it's good that we have these conversations. That's my.
No.
I got real serious. Sorry. I did not come here to think. I came here to laugh.
Oh, yes, big hand.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
What were your childhood dreams? Did you all want to be voice actors when you were little?
No.
Childish dreams.
No.
Let me just pull him out of the crusher.
Oh, remember this one? Be a well-adjusted human being.
Just gonna flatten those out.
Moron. Yeah.
My childhood dream was to be the best lawyer in the world.
Oh my God.
Because I watched a lot of Matlock and a lot of LA Law. And you guys seen LA Law?
Yeah.
So 20 years after LA Law went off the air, they had a 20th
Right.
anniversary or reunion.
Yeah.
And I got a part in it. Not as a lawyer, as the guy who was sleeping with Arnie Becker's wife.
Right. Perfect.
So my agent calls and says, you got this part. And the first scene is, it shows Arnie Becker cruising through, the LA, in his car. And of course they filmed it in Vancouver. And then he shows up at home, and then it cuts to me in bed with his wife. Now, the wife was an actress who I went on a blind date with once and never called her again because it was a horrible, horrible date. And then I show up in a robe and, like 8 years after we went on this date, and I'm like, hey, you! Hi! And then we both had to get naked and climb into bed together, and I'm lying on top of her. Really awkward. I'm like, so, those are new. True story. And then Arnie walks in on us having sex, and he has a heart attack, and I have to jump out of the bed naked and do CPR on him.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's comedy gold.
Dreams come true.
Dreams come true. Yeah.
Serious. That is a good childhood dream.
Yeah.
Let that be a lesson to all of you.
Yeah.
Naked CPR. It's the future.
When I was 4, my preschool had a graduation ceremony, and they asked us what we wanted to be when we grew up, and I said, I am going to be Peter Pan. So I figure I'm probably doing the closest thing possible to doing that for a living as an adult, so yeah.
Okay, the Lost Boys were all dead. Everyone knows that, right? Yeah, that's why they're kids forever. Yeah, they're dead children. Yeah.
Ghosts.
I'm sorry, did I wreck something for you? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm joking, I don't know. But it has occurred to me. Anyway,
Well, apparently in like the book that J.M. Barrie wrote based on after the play that expanded on it more, he talks about Peter like occasionally getting rid of some of the Lost Boys. And I was like, what? It's in there. I mean, it's not totally clear if he's murdering them or what, but that's
have you
a thing.
ever hung out with a lot of children at any given time? Yeah, it's not a bad call.
Jimmy and John.
I don't know. I kind of wanted to be an actor since I was really young. And then my parents, being very British, said, well, just make sure you have a backup plan. And I said, okay. And then so we went on a field trip to a courts, and I went, oh, I'll do that.
Courts?
The courts. Like law courts.
Yeah. Oh, courts.
Yeah, that's okay. So yeah, that was what I was. That was always the backup plan. But I always wanted to be an actor for as long as I can remember. I'm sure I had other things kind of zip in and zip out, and basketball player. Spud Webb wasn't around back then to inspire me. Next. Yes.
Hey, I was wondering if you wanted to share some of your more PG-13 but more embarrassing moments in the vocal booth.
Haven't had any.
Of course you haven't.
One time I was working on this long-term project that was very tedious. And I have this, it would be like 3 or 4 hours a day of just reading non sequitur sentences. Because your voice gets tired doing it for that long, I had this vocal spray called Singer's Saving Grace. And you just spray it, and it helps sort of relax everything and clear up mucus and whatever, gross stuff. But the point is that I was in the middle of doing this, and I was like, okay, we're about to do another page. I'm just going to do a quick spritz. And I accidentally inhaled some of it. Oh my gosh. I thought I was going to die. So you know when like you swallow the wrong way, you're kind of like coughing? That times like 1,000. I could not inhale properly. And like in order to inhale properly, I kind of needed to brace my chest so that I could like take in a really big breath of air, but there was nowhere for me to brace myself except on the windowsill of the window that leads into the engineering place. So I'm like, hold on a second, and then I start hacking up a lung, and then I'm like looking around, and I just go to the window, and you just see me going like, the director, I go back to the mic, and the director's like, "Are you okay? We really thought about calling 911 there for a second." I'm like, "I'm really okay. I just swallowed the wrong way. Can we take a 5-minute break?" So that was kind of embarrassing, as I just like died in front of everybody.
Yikes.
Yeah. So don't ever inhale that stuff. It's really not pleasant.
Oh, keep away from that.
You?
I've never really had any embarrassing moments, in all honesty, in a booth that I can think of right now. I'm sure on the plane home I'll be like, "Oh, the time I was on fire," and then that would have been a great story. But
I told this story yesterday, but I don't know if you haven't heard it. My parents, after 10 years of me doing this for a living, came to visit, and I took them to a studio to watch me recording X-Men Evolution. And it was a scene where I'm drowning in water, and it was like really panicking with me and my brother, and there's a lot of dialogue, and I just bought a brand new shirt that every time I moved, you could hear shh, 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 shh. And they're like, everything you are recording is ruined because your shirt's making too much noise. You're gonna have to take your shirt off. And I'm just looking at my parents as I'm undressing, going, "They don't make me do this all the time, honestly." No, they do.
they totally do.
Yeah.
You should see our website. It's really good.
Naked voice.
$9.95 for the first month. But you get 7 other websites you'll never visit for the same price.
Is that how it works?
All right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't. Yes. Yes.
So how was it work with Robert Williams?
Rob Williams was amazing, and a great guy. Very nice guy. Very funny. He was kind of everything you wanted him to be.
What did you do with him?
RV.
Okay.
Yeah, really sad to hear.
Did you play the RV?
Passing. I was the RV. Yeah. I was his, corporate nemesis, basically.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was the guy who was about to take his job. So it was a blast. It was amazing working with him, but it was also Will Arnett, and it was like, all these amazing people. Barry Sonnenfeld was the director who's like directed so much amazing stuff. Thank you. Yeah. So it was really cool watching these guys and working with them. So yeah, he's beautiful. All right, let's go back a few rows. Everything so far has sort of been from the front. And if you don't put your hand up, I'll start selecting you. Yes, and then yes, and then yes, and then yes. Excuse me, this side of the room. How about we buck up, Buttercup? Okay, yes, and then yes.
We're never going to remember
And then
this
yes.
order.
We're not remembering it. You have to remember it. What do I get paid to remember crap? Oh, wait.
I don't. I have a script in front of me all the time. I had to memorize a short line today, and I double-checked 3 times before I said it.
That's awesome. You show up on set with a stand.
Yep, here I
What
am.
are you doing? I'm Marlon Brandoing this. Okay, go ahead. Yes.
Okay, so my question is for Kirby and for Richard.
Okay.
Fine.
Quite a time, I'm sorry. There was quite a couple time in between the edit video Yasha and then the start of final act.
Mm-hmm.
So was it difficult to recreate the voices?
No.
No.
They're not really that far off our normal speaking voice. And his personality is pretty much the same. So we get him a couple of cocktails, wrap a towel around his hand, and he's good to go.
I'm constantly grabbing Richard's butt.
It's nonstop.
And how can you not? Look at
Right?
that.
It's very tight. Tight like a tiger.
Very
Okay.
tight.
Yes.
What would you say is your favorite role, or like a role that was the most fun to do, like throughout your career?
The ones that pay the most are my favorite ones. For me, I always say I love them all, just like my kids, I love them all equally except the dumb ones. Which one? Oh, maybe if we demanded a little more than, no, I mean, I like them all. There are some that maybe are not as enjoyable or whatever it is, but they kind of fall by the wayside, and I don't really think about them too much anymore. I love doing Inuyasha because it's kind of pretty iconic. Hallelujah, Hallelujah is pretty rad. I love doing Revit on Dino Trucks right now. I love doing my guy on Dr. Dimension Pants, which is another one you should really totally check out. Totes for real. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, cop out, but yeah, I love them all. Recently, I had a lot of fun working on this pilot project for Frederator Studios called Welcome to Doozy, just because it was, I do, you know, a lot, in general, my characters tend to be like a little more serious. Either they're sweet or they're evil, but they're serious. But this was a straight up comedy, so I got to be really sort of wacky and over the top, and that was just sort of a fun change of pace for me. So probably go with that one as just a random thing to call out. You?
I'm just doing this until my teaching career takes off.
Did my law career really?
The law career. Yeah, you know what? I loved Moroku. He was such a fun character. I liked a lot Goku, but it was very difficult screaming all the time. Because I'm very demure. It's just not.
Screaming hurts.
Yeah. Yeah. So if that's my mom, tell
It's
her
okay.
no.
It's all right.
No. What's up? What's going on?
How you doing?
It's okay. We'll wait.
I'm just getting singled out.
He turned red.
Okay, no.
Over there. Oh no.
Yes.
Do we have,
No, wait.
We had an order, but I don't
have an
remember
order. It's
anybody.
you. Wait.
No, there was some.
It was
okay,
someone
no,
else
it
before.
was you, right? No,
it was you, and then it was gentleman in the green shirt.
Okay.
And then we were going over here to this guy, and then this guy, and then that young lady.
Wow.
And then Mike. Hey, it's Mike's birthday, everyone. Everyone turn around and say happy birthday, Mike.
Birthday.
Let's sing. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Cha, cha, cha. Happy birthday, dear Mike. Happy birthday to you. Now in French. Bon anniversaire à toi.
Canadians.
Yes.
Somebody needs to cut a royalty check now.
All right. Yes.
If you were to ever cosplay, would you do any of your own characters or do something from something you have to watch that's not any of your characters?
I would play my favorite animated character, Scott McNeil.
I actually did cosplay a long time ago, and I dressed up as Keistis from Final Fantasy VIII. So I guess I'd probably just brush all the dust off of that and use it.
I do Lilu from The Fifth Element.
Multipass.
Good. I got it. Yes, sir. Yeah. No, you with the green shirt.
Alright, if you could play any live action movie in Marvel, who would you be?
I don't know. Well, I mean, Wolverine's Canadian.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd like to have.
And he's 5'6".
Right, that totally works.
Yes! You're too tall to play Wolverine.
Too tall, finally. I'd have to lose some weight. I don't know. Yeah, or you know, Tony Stark's got lots of money.
Yeah.
So like, why not buy your way in, right?
Yeah.
I'll go with Black Cat from Spider-Man. So I'd be her. She's awesome, and she hasn't really been on screen yet. So yeah.
Well, my favorite character has always been Spider-Man, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
I don't think I would like all the swinging. I'd be like, I would freak the hell out of me.
I'm gonna die.
Tears just dropping out of them.
He's so funny. You come down for your kiss with Mary Jane. Ow! Hang on. Pull yourself back up. And then someone points out to you it's only females that spin webs, and you're like, yeah! Hit the ground. Yes, sir.
If you've been playing Pokemon Go, which teams do you pick and why?
No go.
Instinct, because I'm a Hufflepuff, so it seemed right. But yeah, all teams are cool. That's obviously why I'm Instinct, because I'm like, all the teams are cool, and I'm not really competitive. Yay, let's hatch some eggs. Yeah.
stop playing that game while you're moving on bikes in cars. I'm like, yeah, just almost killing people every day.
It's called natural selection. Yes.
In the early stages of your careers, was there like an actor who may have inspired you, or like a part they have played that may have really gotten your attention to pursue your acting careers?
Sylvester Stallone. And, no, I'm just joking. No, actually, Rocky, the original Rocky, he was amazing.
Sly Stone, I mean, he
was
writes a lot of
amazing.
stuff.
He wrote it and up for an Oscar. Amazing. For me, I don't remember anybody when I was young going, oh my gosh, I want to be just like them. But as I got older, I remember Anthony Hopkins in Remains of the Day. Again, I like all these small moments, these like micro moments and all this kind of stuff that like just, I like those really, really truthful moments to me. And it was actually just moments because I didn't really actually love the movie. Was it Remains of the Day or Howard 10? I think it was Howard 10. It was one of those Merchant Ivory, like a little too sort of bougie sort of movies. But yeah, I mean, he's always kind of been interesting to watch. It's more about people like watching performances for me as opposed to like a single individual that I think is like, oh my gosh, they're so amazing, right?
I mean, it's again not like specific actors, but some actors that I really liked growing up as a kid that I didn't want to be, but I just thought they were cool are Rob Paulson, and Kevin Conroy's Batman is like Batman. He is Batman. That lucky man. Jodi Benson as the Little Mermaid. Tara Strong as like everything. I was a huge Tara Strong fan. Greta Lyle. Lots of people. Maurice LaMarche. They're all good.
Nice. Mine is pretty obvious. He was always the first person to see the plane on Fantasy Island.
Everybody knows. Yeah.
The plane! I'm like, every time. Finds that plane.
Finds the hell out of that plane.
I went to
yes, the girl with the pink and the thing, and then we'll go over here to this gentleman with the thing, and then you with the eyebrows, and then you with the hand, and you with the two legs. The bipedal person's the last.
Good.
Okay. Craziest party? I'm gonna leave that for Kirby. Kirby has the worst luck of any one human being I've ever met. And I mean like flipping ever. I've known guys that have been hit by lightning multiple times and still I'm like, yeah, but you're not Kirby. It's crazy the stories I hear from Kirby. Things he's walked in on, people he's walked in on. Just the most mundane story I've ever heard from him was, so I moved into this new place, infested with mold. I'm now like suing the woman because she won't get it cleaned and we're dying. It's just hilarious.
Good day. Yeah.
I got nothing.
Okay. I was in somewhere outside of LA at a con, and I got a phone call from some friends of mine who were like, dude, you gotta fly to LA. We're going to Eddie Van Halen's house for a party tonight. From Van Halen. And I'm like, I'm actually 45 minutes outside of LA. So I rented a car, and they said, yeah, you can bring one friend. And Mike Dobson was with me.
Perfect.
But he wasn't feeling well, so he couldn't come. So I took Spike Spencer, who I just met, and I said, we're going to Eddie Van Halen's house for a party. And it was his birthday. And there was like Cirque du Soleil performers, and Billy Idol was there, and there was a lot of people on poles. It was
fantastic.
It was a
Dracula.
but he's got like a water slide and a big pool and a stage in his backyard, and Spike's head almost exploded. He was like, "Wow! Look at all this chaos!" It was a good party.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
My parents had a good 60th birthday party. They combined it, so it was really great. Big cake. You with the hat.
Good guy. So, I mean, after going through and looking at all the things you guys have done in the past, I mean, the one that I remember your voice from is actually Bit Cloud. So, what's it like knowing that there's some kid out there who remembers your voice as somebody else, but has never seen you in their entire life? What's it like knowing that your voice is out there? Some kid remembers it, but they probably will never know who you are.
Well, it's the same. It's the same thing with my nudes. You know, they're out there, and as people know, and they're seeing them, and they have no clue. And they're getting a good laugh. And I knew Kirby was lying when he said it was for an art class, but I went with it anyway. And that was the worst 3 hours of my life. Anyway, I digress. Fortran's a crazy place. It's like, you want me to hold a thing that says, hello, B? What? I don't, okay. I don't know. It's cool, it's awesome. You know, it's kind of neat being, it's neat sort of being, the big thing that we keep getting are people saying, you were a part of my childhood, and it's like, that's the best part of it, right? And, or, you know, you got me through a tough time, or the voice got me through a tough time, or the show got me through a thing, and I love that. You know, like, for me, that's probably the best aspect of anything. Because at the end of the day, you know, we're all about entertaining people here, and that's the end result. Like, yes, inspire and, you know, change the world and all this crap. But at the end of the day, it really is all about entertainment, which is why, to me, it's a little disheartening when I see fans sort of, like, going nuts over stuff where you're like, just chill, like, relax. It's a show. Just enjoy it or don't watch it. I don't care. That's really cool. And you know, Kirby and I actually have talked about this a lot, because we're both sort of, you know, really, I mean, everybody is, but whatever. But we were just talking about this yesterday, in terms of like bullying and sort of what, you know, bullying is and its pervasiveness and all of that kind of crap. And so I think that a lot of these characters, particularly in anime, because they're sort of heroes, are a good escape. And they're a way of, you know, sort of somebody kind of going, oh, right, yeah, I can escape into this world, and this guy can sort of fight my battles for me for a little bit, and I don't have to think about the thing. And so I think that that's really awesome, that it's an opportunity for people to kind of go somewhere else for a second that's a little safer than where they might live. So that element of it is pretty cool.
It's cool to me that there are characters I might voice and people will know the character and not necessarily know me. Kind of like the idea of like Frank Oz as Yoda, right? Everybody knows Yoda, and a number of people could probably walk by Frank Oz and have no idea who it is. And that's kind of cool to me because you get to create all these like iconic characters that are known as the character without really any of your ego being a part of it. It's not like, you know, Johnny Depp as Jack Sparrow, where it's like another really cool iconic character, but it's also very obviously Johnny Depp. You get to make this like cool character between you and the animators and the character designers and the writers all sort of come together to make something completely new and different that sort of stands on its own. And that's why I love animation and why I love voiceover. So yeah, I'm fine if people don't know it's me. It's cool when people do though, and like you said, you know, we're entertainers, and it's nice when people respond, even if they're just responding to the character, like, oh man, Ragyo was so evil and just, oh, it was so intense and awesome. Like, that makes me happy. I really don't care if my name's connected to it or not, you know, so yeah.
7. I don't know. Yeah, I love when people tell me how much characters have affected them and their lives, and it just makes me feel warm and fuzzy. So I feel really good about it. So thanks for liking us.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I think it was
No,
her. Oh no.
We're coming back to.
Oh, okay.
look at that face.
Where's
My
some of
bad.
your favorite lines in voice acting that you've done, and why?
Favorite lines?
Yes.
I still just love the Kagome! Because I love that Adult Swim or whoever it was did the whole like the promo thing with the Inuyasha! I got like 45 seconds worth or whatever, which is fantastic. I also love all the snails as non sequiturs on My Little Pony, like that. I like Buddy. Why do they call it a flea market if they don't sell fleas? Stuff like that. And the deep thoughts by snails. You know, I mean, you know, there's always a line in some show where you're like, oh my gosh, that's so funny, and you think it's hilarious. Everyone breaks up laughing, and then it airs, and people are like, no, that's fine, I guess.
Yeah, I'm One that comes to mind when asked that question, I already sort of used it at a different panel, but I'll say it again. In the movie Redline, I played this character, Bose. This was not my character that said this, because I did a bunch of incidentals, and it's in the middle of the movie, they just randomly cut to this woman in a totally different animation style, and her family and her kids like going crazy and whatever, and then she just goes, "Mindless violence is the only thing that gets me off anymore." That's it, and then they just cut away. And I'm like, okay, that's probably one of my favorites.
Fantastic.
One of my favorites is one of the first voiceover I did was, dude, I love being a turtle. And I like Mikami. Delete. And Kamehameha.
And then it was you with the arm, and then the bipedal person. Okay, good. Yes. Yes.
All right.
Uh-huh. Go ahead. Anytime.
And we're
Whoa. We don't have all day. This is a quick panel. Only 14 minutes left. Sorry, go. Yes.
Okay, so this is kind of a dumb question, but I mean, like.
There are no dumb questions, just dumb answers, and I'm about to give you one.
What do you think is better, like having a wide range of voices or just to specialize in one?
Having a wide range of voices. Although I've done pretty well just specializing in one.
Cop-out answer, being a really strong actor. That's the most important part. You can be Lorenzo Music and have one voice and be fantastic at it and work a bunch, or you can be Billy West or Maurice LaMarche and have a whole slew of voices, but you're still a really good actor. That's the thing that's gonna get you work, so, yeah.
What was the question again?
One good voice or lots of voices? Specializing or lots of voices?
Well, it's good to have variety, because anything can get. I mean, that's one of the great things about this career is you play such a variety of different characters on camera, in voice, and it's you get to be different people and do different things and explore, and then you meet somebody who has an interesting voice, and every voice actor tries to copy that.
Right.
You should see when we have a union meeting. It's like the whole building is like, oh, God damn, they're here again. Oh, it's so loud, and everybody's trying to talk, and it's crazy. So, yeah.
Bipedal.
This is a simple one. What's your favorite food?
That's not simple. Are you kidding me? Why do I have to narrow it down to one? I don't know. You start.
I mean, pizza's always good because you can change it up. Like, you can put different toppings on it or even use different sauces and stuff, so you can practically make it different foods. So if you had to eat something for forever, pizza's a good choice.
That's a strong answer.
But I also am a huge fan of eggplant parmesan. I really love eggplant parmesan.
Wow, that was very out of left field.
Very specific with an edible.
Mine's kind of a tie between ice cream and cream of mushroom soup. I love cream of
You're
mushroom soup.
so pregnant right now. Any form of carb in a bread, kind of, or pasta sort of deal is pretty yummy to me. But those aren't good for my figure. But whatever.
National Ice Cream Day.
Is it? Kirby, did you know?
See ya.
I've got to go. Okay, who is next after bipedal?
I don't think we
Okay,
picked anyone.
new raft. Yes, and then yes, and then yes, and then yes. Do you know something we don't with the face mask? You've heard of oh, good. Zika! Yes.
Everybody wait.
No.
What is the strangest gift that you've ever received?
A human heart. That was weird. I am never going to Miami again. That was insane. I don't know.
I got nothing on that one.
Somebody sent me throw pillows for my couch.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
I got a box of condoms once.
Really? Like, you should never procreate.
I know, right? That was weird. I made a lot of balloon animals. I got 4 kids.
Kill the seed.
So, yeah. Yeah, I don't. That'd probably be the weirdest one, right?
Box of condoms?
I get that my French fans are just bananas. They send me stuff all the time. It's hilarious, and it's all from Black Stallion stuff. So it's like, I have people still writing me letters like weekly from that show, and like gifts and all this kind of stuff. It's bananas. No one sent me bananas yet. That would be weird. But okay, no, you're not. It'd be great trying to get past the border. You know, here's a funny story. When we go back and forth between Canada and the States, I live very close to the border, so I go back and forth all the time for gas. Not for my car, just I eat beans and then I fart a lot and then I come back over. And I'm like, ha! I'm silently winning a chemical war against you people. But no, I go down all the time, and we cross all the time, and they never ask really much, you know, the border crossing that we go to. And one day they just randomly said, do you have any fruit or vegetables on you? And I'm like, oh yeah, we actually do have, and we never buy anything and bring it over, but I just happened to have a thing of oranges, and I just happened to remember that they were in the car, and they were like mini oranges, because the kids love mini oranges. They're like, well, you can't take them over. I'm like, right, sorry, yeah. But then at the same time, I'm looking and I'm going, they're from Florida. Like, we don't grow oranges in Canada. We grow like apples and pears and all that kind of stuff, but we don't grow oranges. So I'm like, but they're from Florida. He's like, yeah, I know, but you still can't bring them over. I'm like, why? Did you do something to them and then send them to us? Because we haven't done anything to them. We're not that neighbor. So like, I don't, like, what did you think we've done to them? And so, but I had to give them up. It's hilarious. I'm like, I'm taking them home. Nothing. Yeah, weird. Anyways, was there a question attached to that?
Gift.
Don't send me bananas, is what I was saying. They'll get stopped at the border. They'll be like, why? Why so many bunches of bananas? Yes.
My question is, given your professions, do you find yourself watching TV shows or movies
Yes.
and critiquing?
All the time. Nonstop.
You can't do that. That's not physically possible, or I know how they did that trick.
I'm gonna give a quick answer really fast. No, and I'm gonna run to the bathroom because I have to pee so badly, guys. I'm so sorry.
Hey, yay! I like to lounge on the couch all day and convince myself I'm actually studying. Like, what are you doing? It's for my art, man. It's for my
art. Shut up. Why are your pants off? Shut up.
It's the best way to learn.
Quit it, Mom.
Open another bottle of wine.
It's the best. Learn best.
Learn best
with grapes.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you can't help but do that, right? I mean, not always in a negative way, but like, you know, sometimes. Sometimes my kids are watching some show and I'm like, wow, where are those ones from? Voices. I don't know. But I mean, for the most part, they're all pretty great. And I hear people and go, man, that's amazing. But some shows, I'm like, I feel like the director just did all of them himself. And he's not really a director.
I don't play the video games, but I was over at a friend's place and they were playing one of the games, and they
were playing Facebook or something.
Facebook,
I don't know.
Apparently, you gather friends and then to pretend you like each other. I don't know. And there was the lead actor kept saying lines, and he was horrible, just absolutely horrific actor. So I look up the game.
Was it me?
And I look up the game, and I look up the person, and he has like 280 credits on IMDb, all video games. Wow. But he couldn't act to save his life. Wow. And I was like, I gotta get into video games.
That man's name was Albert Einstein.
Albert Einstein.
Yeah, everything. You shall go down!
Nice. Yeah.
Yes, and then yes.
No.
Yes, sure, and then yes.
All right.
Go. Wait, are we into the speed round yet?
5.
We're into speed round. Go! This one right here. I actually sound like this.
Hardest voice. It's hard sometimes because I play a lot of young characters, young kids, and if I've it's just happened that I'll do like an on-camera show where I have to do a lot of yelling, and then it's hard to get into the higher range.
Yeah.
And so that's you gotta be careful of your instrument. You gotta protect it, but sometimes it just gets blown out and. A lot of ginger tea. Ginger tea is good.
Yeah. I don't know if it's necessarily hard, because if we can't do it, then they won't cast us. But there are some that are painful, for sure. Yeah. Ooh, you shouldn't taste blood all the time.
Yeah.
It's not good, unless you're into that. And then, I guess. Yes? Yes?
Okay, my question was for Laura, but
You know what? We'll answer it.
Okay,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
go ahead.
is she coming back?
Yes, she's right there.
Hey.
Okay.
If you had a handful of bees, how many could you hold? How many?
A handful? Do they have to be alive?
Yes.
Oh. I'd like 50. I'd say like 50. 50, solid 50. If they got close together.
Have you all
If they were dead, 150.
Yeah. In your mouth. There's a movie, the TV show called Naked and Afraid. I don't know if you've seen it. It's on YouTube.
That's your own personal YouTube channel.
Yeah, but there was outtakes, and they were in some jungle somewhere, and the crew got attacked by killer bees. And it shows them all lying on the ground, stuck with stingers and throwing up, and just, because the venom was... venom, is that what it's called? Venom from bees?
Sure, yeah,
Venom?
why not?
And
Yes.
It looked very horrific and painful.
Yeah, that's not cool.
No, yeah. How many bees can you hold in your hand?
That's really...
That's the question.
0.
They're bees, they're not
0.
wasps. They're bees and they're kind.
Maybe 1. I'm kind of still afraid of them.
And she had a question for you. And we're in the lightning round.
Okay.
Since you voice characters like Ari and Valentine that are very
Sexy.
loved characters.
Okay.
Have people asked you to, like, people record you like, oh, say hi to my friend. Have they asked you to say weird things?
No, I have not been asked yet to say anything that has made me uncomfortable.
Give it time.
But yeah, one time
Do your worst, Internet.
I was talking to someone once, and they were like, "Oh, I'm a big fan of this thing you're in," and it was actually an audio drama, and I was like, "Oh, that's really cool." And he's like, "I mean, maybe I shouldn't say this, and just if you ever have to start a sentence with maybe I shouldn't say this, don't say it. That's the end of the sentence." But he's like, "Maybe I shouldn't say this, but my favorite part was when you were captured and you were tied up because it really turned me on." And I was like, "Oh boy, great, thanks. That makes me feel really comfortable in this conversation.
Fantastic.
We're good."
Boundaries
That's
are
like when
awesome.
people say, I'm not racist, but.
Stop right there, Donald. All right. Wait, yes, and then yes,
And we only got time for 2 yeses.
and then
Go.
yes. So, lightning round. One-word answers.
What's your favorite part of Metrocon this year?
My favorite what? Favorite part of Metrocon. This!
Yeah.
Yes.
The
Go!
Riverwalk. Yeah.
Of all the voices you've done, what's your guilty pleasure voice you've done?
That I've done? I don't feel guilty about anything I do, man.
Oh, I've got one.
No time for
I'm
guilt.
not going to give any context. I'm just going to go, LED elephants, woo!
Nice.
My guilty pleasure voice is a terrible
Fantastic.
voice.
Will you marry me?
Actually, you and David Vincent will have to fight over Ellie's hand.
Oh, who's David Vincent?
He's another voice actor.
All right, where we're going here, yes?
Favorite flavor of ice cream?
Salted caramel.
Oh, there we go.
Homemade salted caramel.
Ooh.
Yes?
Favorite ice cream, Moose Tracks.
Anything with chocolate nuts. Almond nut chocolate.
Wow. Do your worst, Internet. Okay. All right. Anything else? Quick, yes?
What's your worst moment in high school?
All of high school.
Yeah, when they said welcome to high school.
I didn't really have one. I had a TV show in high school. So it was kind of okay because I wasn't really there. And then when I did come back, everyone was like, I don't care, our basketball team is cooler than you. So that was that. End of that story. Yes, one more. This is the last one.
What was it like being in Stargate?
Awesome. Great show. Great
Show.
fans.
Yeah, good show.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
I loved being on it.
Cool, you guys have been sexy and crazy and fun and fabulous.
Thank you.
So-